Today on
Doomed!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. This isn't really like an episode of Doomed. I don't have a guest. This is my first episode back after my little vacation. This is a call-in show. This is a catch Matt up with what's going on. Although, if you watched Leftist Mafia, you know that I'm pretty much caught up. Because if you didn't catch it, I streamed in from the hotel. Because I can't help myself. Because I'm insane. I'm insane. Even when I take off, I can't stay away. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun call-in show. I want to talk with you all. It's been a little while. Let me pull myself up on the screen. I'm sorry for being late. I was late because a number of things. The kids were in bed, so it's not the kids' fault. But my stuff is still all over the place. I couldn't find my AirPods, which I brought with me on vacation. But I did find them. And then I went to feed the beta fish. We have a beta fish. We have a few fish, but we have a beta fish that's in a separate tank because they kill anything you put them with. And the beta fish seems like he's sick. He's got red splotches on his body. I looked it up. It seems like he's got a bacterial infection. He's acting a little bit silly. I gotta order some antibiotic. If based on what people said, he should be fine though. It happens, people said in the various fish forums that I looked at. He's an old fish. We've had him for a while, so he's bound to get sick eventually. He's been healthy up till now. On top of the kids, the dog, the cat, we have fish because we just can't help ourselves. We got to take care of something. Always got to take care of something. Never give ourselves a break. It is great to be back with you all. I miss doing this. I miss doing these streams, but I will say, I needed it. I needed the break. I don't think I can go that long without taking a break ever again. At least after, the heavy year that we've had. It just helps to refresh my mind and not make me feel burnt out. Um, I actually am excited to be here. Some nights you can't tell because I'm always happy, but and excitable, and because that's just, I guess, my natural default. But there's some nights where I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to cover this shit. This is horrible. But that's what we do. So let's get right into it. Let's open up I'm going to start with Skype because last time I remember the people over on Skype were a little bit upset that I was just taking phone calls. Let's talk about whatever you guys and gals would like to talk about. Like I mentioned, I said you would only miss me for 1 week because I did do a stream on August 13th, which is 2 weeks ago. And I said you'd only miss me last week. But I, of course, had to butt my head in on Leftist Mafia. It was after the guest. I think they had a cat from formerly of Media Matters. I think she's Mother Jones. She's great. They had her on, and I caught the tail end of that, and I finally was able to call in right before they shut the stream off. But then I ended up spending like an hour on the stream with everyone, which was just Lance and Mike at that point. But so yeah, on my vacation, I spent an hour on the stream. We talked about it was the night of the DNC, the Kamala Harris speech. So if you missed that, go check that out. But I have not been on Majority Report in 2 weeks. So it'll be nice to be on there tomorrow, catch up with Emma and Brandon and Matt Leck and Bradley and see what's going on there. And then I'll be on Leftist Mafia, of course, as per usual. So, oh, I see people tried to call in and I missed them. I'm sorry. But Skype is now open. You could search Doomed Live on Skype. And then I'll take a few calls here and then I'll open up the classic phone line. If anyone wants to call, I feel like more people call in via the phone. We get the callers who want to use the video, who want to like get their video feed up via Skype. But then we got more people who call during the regular phone line seems to be more popular. But let's give the Skype callers a chance here. And what a great person to talk to welcome me back. Uh,
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
oh my God, it is? Is it?
Yeah, I'm calling in to catch you up on some of the news with my campaign.
Well, hold on. I, go ahead. Go ahead if you must.
Well, I recently decided to drop out in a couple of the swing states. This is part of my effort to win without the swing states, you see, and I'm also calling in to get ahead of some news releases that are coming out about me that the New York Times found.
Oh
So,
yeah, is that
uh,
true?
yeah, much like with the bear story, when I got ahead of that, so back in November of 2019, I
I
was
gotta
in
say, I
Wuhan,
just want to say before
China.
you continue, I want to say your voice has miraculously, after all these years, it's cleared up a lot.
Uh, Good, fresh mountain air and steroids.
Okay. But continue. So what's going on with you? I have to say
So
the last thing I saw was RFK Jr. Since I've been gone, RFK Jr. officially dropped out and endorsed Donald Trump and seems to
that is not correct. I
what?
suspended the campaign
Oh,
and I am staying in, just not in the swing states that'll allow me to drop out.
what? Is that purposeful or is that just an accidental side effect of you staying in up to this point?
We need to hit the 5% threshold, but we can't win. So I'm dropping out where it will help Trump for my cabinet position.
Mm. Mm. I gotta say, I've seen you making the rounds, and it almost seems like the Trump campaign has like unofficially replaced JD Vance with you. Like it looked like you were campaigning with Trump as his running mate. To be quite honest, from what I've seen, I again I'm out of the loop. I could be wrong.
That is the October surprise. So,
Is, is it?
but
Are
anyways,
you
the
giving a,
news.
are you giving away the October surprise in late August? What's going on here?
y- It, 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 you didn't hear it from me,
All right.
but yes,
I'll
I
have to
wanted to get
I'll
ahead of these news drops that will be coming out about me soon. So, back in October of 2019, I was in Wuhan, China, at a wet market, and a friend of mine bet me I couldn't eat a raw bat, and I did, and we may have made COVID.
wait, what?
Um, Also, I was doing technical support for Malaysian Airlines and may have misplaced a plane in the Indian Ocean.
Oh, is that is that is,
Also, back in the 90s, I was running a car for the propaganda photographers, and we may have gone into a tunnel in France.
oh, is that true?
Yes, I want to get ahead of this so you all know that I am an honest broker and will make a great vice president.
All right. I mean, I guess I don't know what to say to that.
Well, just remember, vote Trump, Kennedy, 2028.
All right.
We're never gonna die.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, it's time for me to go ask these uh, children when or if they've hit puberty yet. Goodbye.
All right. Take care. I don't even know what to say to that. But thanks for the call. Appreciate it. And we got another caller here on the line. Let's take this call. Oh, whoa. We got some feedback there. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, you there, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Donald Trump, is this you?
Matt, I was just informed by my people that you just got a call from RFK Jr.
I I did an RFK Jr. that it didn't
Look,
sound very RFK Jr. I mean, content wise, it sounded like him, but raspiness wise, did
Matt,
not.
Matt, I think you've been in this business long enough to know when there's a total fake being thrown your way. You were just pranked by someone. I understand the kids calling it pranking now. Is that what they
They
call it? Prank?
prank calling.
Prank.
I don't know if it's something they're calling now. I mean, it seems like prank calls have been around. Like, if you ever are you familiar with like the Jerky Boys from like the
That's,
'90s?
that's just, look, Saul Rosenberg is a very good friend of mine. Very good friend of mine. But regardless, I just want you to know that whatever that RFK claimed, is it's not true. It's not
It's
true.
well, it didn't sound
It's a
true.
it's a fake. It's a see. That's what you. Now here you are. I thought I could. Matt, I thought we were friends. I
We
like you.
are. We are. I
I,
like you. Well, I like you
you
outside of
like me.
politics.
You
You're
like me. So I
very
like you.
entertaining guy.
And
Yes.
that's how it goes. And that's how we work it here. So because I like you and you like me, we get along very, very well. And
Yes.
I think us getting along very well is a very, very good thing to make sure that we get along well. But the problem here is that you're accepting calls now from fake RFK Juniors. And who knows who else on your show is fake now?
I don't know.
I'm not
I could never
sure.
tell.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can actually continue this friendship.
No, Donald, please. I know this is the real you. Okay. You know RFK Jr., the real RFK Jr.
Of course I
Can,
do.
can you give him
Very
a
good
call and
friend.
get him on the line? Can he get on the line now so I could hear, so people can hear? Like, I called the guy out. I said you didn't sound like the real RFK Jr. and he said that it was steroids and all this other stuff and the mountain air. What am I supposed to say? But
Uh, I don't know how to do a three-way call.
well, you could just
But
why don't you just put him on the line? Like hold the phone up to the speaker and get him on the line or something.
well, he's not. He's not in the room right now.
Okay.
He's he's not in the room. I guess I could ask him. I could text him and see if he could call in.
Yeah, let's do that.
Call
Let's do
back
that.
real quick, you know.
Yeah, let's
But
do that.
let me just tell you something, Matt. If I am not elected, this country is going in the tubes. I mean, they are going to have. You're going to go from Canada right
Canada,
right to Mexico. There's going to be no America in between.
America.
The whole country is falling into hell. It's a hell, Matt. Why? I stood next to a wall the other day in the heat, and let me tell you something. I felt safer there with no one around for miles and lots of dirt and rebar, they call it.
Who's they?
They know. Whoever they are, they know what they're talking about. You may not know what you're talking about. I'm concerned that you're becoming just like the other fake media streams.
No. You know me. I'm real. I'm real,
All right,
Donald.
I'm gonna have RFK Jr. call over and see what's going on. I think he's got something going. Have you seen the new America Freedom or whatever the hell we're calling it, the new NFTs? Have you seen them?
I did. Apparently,
Great. They got beautiful photographs of me as a baseball player, as a football player. Also, me fighting Godzilla is one of the more collectible of them. And you get a piece of cloth that is apparently taken from my suit, even though the suit is still in the closet, I think.
Right. No, that's it. Right.
Look,
There's the special that I watched your infomercial. My favorite part is about when you say you're promoting the digital cards, and then you say if you buy the whole collection, we'll send you a real card. You say we'll send you a real card.
They call it knockout. They're calling it the knockout suit.
Right,
that's
right.
What they're calling it.
That's what they're calling it. You say that in the infomercial, but I don't think you meant to say if you buy all the digital cards, you'll get a real card, because that implies that you know the digital cards are just bullshit.
It's a real physical card. The other ones are real virtual cards.
Right. Okay. But I mean, okay.
Yep.
All right. You're fixing it now. All right.
So, TrumpCards.com, whatever it is. I hope you like JD. What do you think of JD?
Oh, I gotta say, he certainly is something.
He's got the tough look, though. You know, he looks tough.
I gotta say, when I think of JD Vance, the first thing that pops in my mind is not tough.
Plus, he's very pro-family. He's very. We really, I mean, and I think America needs a lot more of that. A lot more of that, Matt.
Right. But are you pro-family? Are you pro-family?
Very pro-family. I love the family. I think the family is one of the best things you could possibly have. I love having family.
Can you name?
And
your
I know
children?
you do too, Matt.
Can you name all your children, sir?
You know better than anyone, Matt. You know better than anyone how valuable family is.
I do.
Don Jr. and Eric and Barron and Ivanka. Right. So, loving your family is very important. It's very important, Matt. And you saw the importance of family at my photo opportunity this weekend. Without a hitch. I mean, it was like smooth sailing. We zoomed in there and met with the loving, caring families of those lost in the embarrassment that was the evacuation of Afghanistan. We never should have stayed or left. Neither one.
So what happened there? I've heard these rumblings that your campaign staff got into a physical encounter with the staff at the Arlington Cemetery over your campaign trying to do like a political photo shoot in an area where photography is not allowed.
You are just spreading more fake news. Fake. You're turning into Kamala. Are you going to be black soon? Are you going to turn like Kamala? Is that what's going to happen? But fake.
Sir,
okay, forget that. But what happened was...
Not going to win you any votes, sir.
A small misunderstanding between myself and the security for the Arlington. And a small misunderstanding where they said, well, you're not allowed to film there. And I said, well, I think I am. And they said, no, you're not. And I really should be. And so then my security guys took care of them. And we went and had the photo. Did you see the TikTok?
Wait, hold on. You sort of. I think you sort of.
It's really great. And you see me with the thumbs up, smiling over the grave. I think that's really.
I didn't see that.
We're gonna win the military vote like never before. I think we got 100% of the military vote after me doing that this weekend.
I did not see you have a photo of you with the thumbs up over a grave? Sounds...
You haven't seen it?
No, I actually have not.
Look it up, damn it. You got a computer right there, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Sir, I've been
This
on vacation for like a week and a half, my friend.
There's no vacation with Trump. With Trump around, there's never a vacation.
That's true. There certainly is not.
Right.
I do
So
not.
do you want me to
I
get
don't see a.
RFK over to call you or whatever?
I don't
something?
see this photo. I don't see. Could someone send me this photo of Trump with his thumbs
Send
up?
to somebody in the chat. I see you there. I see you. Lanzetta, I see you. Are you a Trumper? Is Lanzetta a Trumper? Do we need to kick her out of the chat? How about that Tyler Hackney guy? Hack.
Oh no! Is it a hold on? Is the thumbs up photo a group photo?
Yes, it is.
Oh
They were-
no!
They were all very happy to see
Sir,
me.
what were you thinking? Why would you do this?
Look, it's because I love the military.
No, this is not, sir. This was
Honor the greatest
inappropriate.
embarrassment
Inappropriate.
the United States military has ever had. The horrible, disastrous, embarrassing withdrawal from Afghanistan, which never would have
Sir.
happened if I was president.
Sir, this photo is inappropriate. Hold on, I gotta pull this up on the feed. Hold on.
Somebody's saying that it's illegal. Now, look, when I do it, it's an
That means
official.
it's not illegal.
It's an official axe. I have official axe, and I can swing it wherever I want. I can chop down trees with my official axe. I guess I could be a.
I'm pulling up the photo right
There's a-
now.
there's a-
I'm in shock, sir.
There's a TikTok too. There's a TikTok too. You got to.
There's a TikTok.
Yeah, there's a TikTok. We did a whole. Oh, you got to see it. Look it up. Look at it. You think I'm lying? Go ahead. Look it up on your little whatever you got there.
Hold on. It's on the official Trump TikTok page.
I don't know where the hell they put it.
This is the photo. It is too
Doesn't-
much, sir. Too
Doesn't
much,
the
sir.
Google- doesn't the Google show you if there's a Trump TikTok?
This photo is too much, sir.
Arlington. How about look. We're going for the military vote. And veterans love Trump. The military loves Trump. I just want to show how much I love them as well. There you go. I see it right on screen. Now you put it up there. It's coming up. It's coming up, folks.
Yeah. You're a little bit delayed. The stream is a little bit delayed. But yes,
Yeah.
it's
Right. Yeah, you're gonna see the picture, folks. See? How good do I look? How good do I look right there? Isn't that great? Look how much I love the military.
Listen,
the
I get the photo is the thing some people do with the grave, the tombstone. I don't have a problem with the photo itself. If that's the family of the person.
It is. Well, I didn't
Okay,
just pick
okay.
random people off the street.
Well,
although
who knows? Who knows? But
you're right.
Sir, the
sometimes I
thumbs
do.
up. The
You're right.
thumbs up and the big old grin with the thumbs up. It's a
I-
little bit more solemn, maybe. A little bit more solemn moment. No, wouldn't you say so?
I have a theory about this. Whenever I go for one of these photos, it always makes me look creepy and smiley with the big white teeth and my tiny little thumbs. I mean, my huge thumbs up sticking out. I mean, I think the camera does something. It must be like AI to make me look, because I wasn't doing the thumbs up and I wasn't smiling. I was being very somber. I had my head down and looked very serious as I was praying. And the camera did that. It must be AI. It must be AI. Now that you mention it, I think, in a certain sense, maybe, I'll have to look at that. But we'll have to look at this AI as well. So
All right, I'm looking at your official TikTok page, and I don't see the TikTok of the. I'm not sure.
oh, it's out there. I don't know. I'll have to talk to Dan Scavino. or
What
somebody.
am I looking for? What am I looking for? What happens in it?
Arlington TikTok Trump. Google will give it to you. You'll have to.
All right. Well, I'll have to look
Look.
for it later, sir.
Look, I know all about these things,
All right.
but I don't know where they put it. I don't know. I don't run my
Alright, alright.
TikTok. What do you think? I don't have time for that. I'm golfing.
I get it. I don't even run my TikTok.
Say to save America. Did you see my interview with Dr. Phil?
You got to interview Dr. Phil. What? Why?
That was on X. That was exclusively on X.
Why? Why would you do that?
Remember, it's Twitter, which is now X. I think.
But why?
Well, I mean, Dr. Phil loves me, and I love him because he loves me. So he asked me to do an interview, and I said, sure, well, let's do an interview. And once you see the photos of me there, you'll see that wanted to send an EMT to the
What?
set. IKEA, yeah, they did. It's true. IKEA really loves Trump, and they saw
IKEA?
IKEA, the furniture store. I'm not kidding. They wanted to call an EMT when they saw what was happening to your favorite president in the chair that Dr. Phil put me in. Also, my tailor wants to have a word with me. I'm not sure why, but you
I
need
have
to.
no idea what you're talking about. Sir.
Dr.
I'm
Phil,
lost.
Dr. Phil Trump interview X in Google should get you the photo.
Okay, wait, hold
True,
on.
I'm serious. See, you can
Wait, Dr. Phil Trump
Trump
interview. I'm just
interview
Googling this, and what am I looking for?
X, and the first photo of the set with me sitting in a white chair. It's a
What
beautiful.
about it?
It's like heaven. Zoom it in a little bit. See if you notice anything. My
I
tailor
don't.
wants that.
Oh,
Taylor wants
you're
to have a
why
why. Also,
why
the
are your
chair.
pants so? Hold on, why are your pants so high?
The chair IKEA wanted to call the EMT because the chair was devouring me. They were worried. They were very worried, but it was
I
all
didn't even
right.
notice at first, but now I can't not
But
notice.
it was all right. And Taylor wants to have a word with me, and we're going to take care of that very quickly in the next
Hold
week.
on. I gotta pull this up on the feed. Sir, why wouldn't someone tell you this was going on? What in the world?
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand what you're talking about. I mean, like I said, my tailor wants to talk to me, and I'm not sure why. I haven't spoken to him in 15 years. I mean, why have your clothes adjusted or tailored when they fit perfectly the first time? Save money
did
that
you
way.
did you do that? Did you get that surgery done where like you go to like I don't know like Sweden or something and they break your kneecaps and extend your legs? Why is it so off?
Why would I believe in such medical nonsense as that, Matt? I'm much smarter than you think. All I'm saying is that my tailor wants to speak with me. I don't know why. And the chair was, is pretty hungry. That chair is, I'm wondering if JD Vance is down in there, underneath, that chair. My God, that chair. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's
Unbelievable. So anyway, it's a great interview. I talk very strongly, and also we have come to the determination that if California, the votes in California from 2020, if Jesus Christ counted those votes, I would have won.
I heard you said this something
We,
similar, right?
we need Jesus to come down and count the votes. I mean, I know he's got a lot to do, but this is very important. He's the only person we could trust, Matt.
Sir,
Jesus.
can I ask you a question? Why would Jesus counting the votes make any difference? Does Jesus count differently than you or I?
Well, isn't he the most honest person ever besides me?
I mean, I guess, I'm assuming Jesus did not
Exactly. Exactly.
lie.
Right. It's not. And neither did I. It's all a hoax, and it's fake, and it's a fake. Do you want me to call RFK? I can text him.
I do want to talk to RFK Jr. It's been a pretty newsy week for him, hasn't it?
All right, I'll text him and have him call into you. All right, I got to
right.
go. Thanks a lot. Hannity's calling me. I think he wants me to read a bedtime story again, or he reads me bedtime stories. All right, thank you, Matthew. Have a great day. Welcome back. Great to have you back. Love you.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. Take care. All right. Hopefully he gets RFK Jr. on the line. Hansi, I see you calling, my friend. I'm gonna take your call in just a minute. I know we're gonna go for a while though. When you call in, we go for a while. So I want to give RFK Jr. a second. I'm not gonna leave you at all, Hansi. I know you probably think I'm trying to get out of talking to you or something, that you're concocting the scenario that you're concocting. Just let me see if RFK Jr. is gonna call in. Oh wait, this might be him. Hold on. Hello? Oh, I'm having some call difficulties here with. That was weird. Try calling back if that's you, RFK. I think I jammed the phone lines with so many people calling in. I see you all trying to call in. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me try to call back and see what was going on there. Hmm. Well, having some technical difficulties with the. Oh, here we go. Let's try this. Hello.
Hello, Matthew.
Oh, is this? It sounds
No,
like it.
this is-
RFK.
This is former presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
How are you?
What-
How are you, Robert?
What in the name of Mr. Ed is going on over there? Cheryl called and she was listening and said that there was somebody calling there claiming to be me, making certain claims about things that I may or may not have said, and I'm very, very upset and angry.
Yes, that is correct. So earlier on this episode, there was a caller who claimed to be you, RFK Jr. And Bobby, I gotta say, I immediately called it out because he did not have your strong voice. He sounded a little wimpy, if you ask me. And he claimed that it was because the mountain air and his intake of steroids, his voice had changed. And he claimed to be you, and I was skeptical. And then your good pal, who you just endorsed, Donald Trump, called in to rectify the situation, and he said he would give you a text to tell you to call in.
Well, I did. I just got the text. As a matter of fact, Cheryl was listening. She often tunes into Doomed and Scam Economy and reads your articles.
Does she?
She just reads your articles on Crunchables and you know, of course, you're a very good friend of mine. I consider you a very good friend. And
Thank
so
you.
the fact that I appreciate the fact that you knew first. You were very on top of it. I knew exactly that it was not Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and that it was someone attempting to try and pull the wool over your eyes.
Right, and you can't fool me.
Oh, good on you. I've been meaning to. I did miss you, Matt. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All,
I appreciate it.
Miss you. I did want to give you a call because I know you've seen the new release of Donald Trump's product, his trading card thing that he has going on.
I did see the trading cards. They certainly are something. They're digital cards. I'm not a fan of digital collectibles. I don't know if these are NFTs. I'm assuming they are. But I'm not a fan of that type of stuff. But I am interested by the real physical card you get, which apparently comes with a piece of Donald Trump's knockout suit from the debate. I know that's a thing that sports cards have been doing over recent years, where like companies like Panini, like the big sports cards companies, they now have these special edition cards where they actually like take a piece of like the a player's uniform from a very particular moment, like someone's home run uniform for a special home run they hit, and they put it in the card, and depending on what part of the uniform you get, the card is worth more, yada yada yada. Interesting to see Trump do that with a political physical trading card that with his suit that he wore at the debate.
Oh, that certainly may be interesting, but I mean, I've been involved in crypto long enough to understand that the virtual trading card isn't an actual physical item that you own. I mean,
Right.
right? We're both in agreement on that. I think.
I think
The what I'd like to tell you about is Dr. Bobby's Miracle Whale Oil Elixir.
really, doctor, sir. You are a doctor, like a medical doctor now.
Well, I am now because we put it on the label.
Got
This
it.
whale
Okay.
oil juice, whale juice, we call it around here.
Is that the scientific name for it? The whale juice?
I don't know Latin very well. I could get it for you if you'd like me to. But I think the most important thing is Dr. Bobby's miracle whale juice solution oil is what we're going to be selling now through the election to raise some money for the campaign.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
Sounds interesting. What do you? What's the?
Well, we cut off a whale's head, and then we drain it of all its juice. Now, some people have complained that the whale juice gets all over the road, or will get in the car when you have it tied to the roof of the car and you're driving down the highway. But that's neither here nor there, because we're going to be buying a fleet of cyber trucks to handle the whale head transport. Now, this is going to be a job creator for the administration, I think, and it's a winner of an issue. I hope you're looking it up right now about whalehead, because you might be a little. You might be a little.
Is that also the
Sorry to have to get you up on the news all by myself here, Matthew.
I don't know if I should.
I do appreciate it.
I don't know if I want to Google the term whalehead, sir.
Well, you may not want to, but you're going to have to anyway for this joke. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's going to be a total.
All right, I'm searching whalehead. I hope I don't end up on a list.
No, it's not Goatsy. I'm not going to send you to Goatsy. No.
I mean, I do know that there is a JD Vance tweet where he apparently was looking up some sort of dolphin sex video.
That's long gone. That's old news. That's old. That's his vice president. Wait.
Okay, so I think this is what you want me to look up. You and your daughter went to saw off a beached whale's head for some reason. Why would you do this?
It was an adventure. I mean, look, I have a deep interest in animal skulls. I'm working on a theory similar to what they cite in what's the bell ring, the bell. What's that great book? The bell curve. That's it.
That's not a great book.
Where they talk about the technology of skulls and things like. So that's right. So we've found that whale juice is the healthiest thing that could be ingested by a human being besides water or urine. So because of this, we've decided to work with Mike Lindell and his distributors and many of his partners to bring you Dr. Bobby's Miracle Whale Juice Oil. Juice. Wait.
I think you got it a little mixed up there.
All right. We're still working on the title, but we're going to have it out within the next 2 weeks. It's it comes in 4 delicious flavors. It cures everything. From asthma, balding.
It cures balding, sir. That might actually be the biggest medical breakthrough. You can make tons of money off of this if that's the truth.
It dissolves kidney stones instantly upon impact.
Upon impact. I don't think you want to work the marketing words there. I don't think you want.
You think Jake Paul and his Prime stuff is top notch? This is what's really going to be hot with the kids. Dr. Bobby's Whale Oil Juice Oil.
Whale Oil Juice Oil Juice.
I'm sorry. Cheryl's burning the popcorn again. There's
What
fire.
does that mean?
My wife, she doesn't know how to make the popcorn properly.
Oh, that's you're being
To
quite
do that,
literal here. Okay, I
there's a small
misunderstood.
fire here. I thank you, Matt. Welcome back. I appreciate it. And Trump Kennedy 2024 to the
Thank
moon.
you for calling in, sir. Bobby, always a pleasure. RFK Jr., everyone. I thought burning the popcorn was a euphemism for something.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome back. I appreciate it.
All right. All right. I'll take all the other calls that tried to call in. Let's take this one. First person to call back in. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jess from France.
Hey, how are you, Jess from France? What would you like to talk about, my friend?
I want to talk about France, but I am right now on vacation in the US. So
Oh,
I'm in
you're
the
in the
home
U.S.
country.
So what are you doing calling in about France? While you're on vacation, you should try to get as far away from France as possible.
I live there, so I have to follow everything over there.
I hear you. So yeah, what's going on in France? What the hell? I did see a little bit of this. Apparently, Macron is trying to stab the left in the back, and he's like forming an alliance with the right or something. Am I wrong? Am I right? What's going on?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I told you about this before, that Macron was going to be like, oh, we want left to get powerful, but not like that. So exactly what I said happened. He's going to reject he rejected multiple suggestions of the prime ministers, and now he's trying to keep the one he already has, or put a more right-wing one into power. So he's completely trying to reject the NFP and being a dick.
Unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable, but incredible.
Completely believable and completely expected.
Right.
This is what I'm like. I know, like, NFP had to do the whole strategic thing to get the left wing more votes and the center more votes than the right wing, but this was completely expected, and they should have prepared something for this. Right now, people are on the street and protesting. I'm hearing on the news. I'm not in France, so I can't really say about this in person, but yeah. This is a disaster, but also something that was totally expected, and lessons should be learned from all of this. That never take their words for it. Even if the centrists say that, oh, we are gonna work with you, do not trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to defeat the right, there wasn't much of a choice but to have the trust there, being that the right was pegged to win for a while. But yeah, I guess lesson learned.
Yeah, not for coalition. They should not have trusted them for a coalition. They should not have trusted them for. Well, I know they did not really trust them, but like
they had no choice. Yeah,
they do not have a choice. But like everything that they're suggesting now, every person that they've suggested has been rejected by Macron. So and like I told you that why it's important that they're not a united party. It matters because this is a coalition, and because they're not a united party, Macron can do this. To what I said was like, because they are not the most voted party, most seat holding party, they don't get the prime minister of their choice. So I told you about why the distinction between a coalition and the party mattered, and exactly what's happening right now. That's it. And the Olympics are over, and now Paralympics are going on. I think they're gonna finish soon as well. So
right. The Paralympics are going on right now.
Yeah,
and then France is done with the Olympics.
I mean, they're already acting like they're done with the Olympics, because Paralympics is a separate thing.
I will say, it never makes sense to do the Paralympics first, because obviously the big event is the Olympics, and that's when people pay attention. The more obvious thing, the one that would be better for the Paralympians too, would be to hold that event first, because people will be excited that the Olympics are coming up and actually give the Paralympics their fair shot. But like to hold it after the Olympics is kind of like they don't even give these guys a chance.
I sort of agree, but like given how messed up the situation was in France before the Olympics, right before the Olympics, and all the mess ups in the Seine River and everything, I mentioned that the Seine River people are gonna get sick if they swim in it, and exactly what happened, because none of the safety checks went through. Um, so yeah, it would make sense to hold it before, and but I also blame the Olympics for it because they should be holding the ending ceremony together, because they do the whole like voting on which country gets to hold the Olympics and Paralympics together, etc. So even if they're different committees, they should do it together in terms of hold the closing ceremony together at least.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, they should hold some of the stuff together too at the same time,
yeah.
so people are forced to like actually pay
Mhm.
attention. Because unfortunately, I mean, I'm just speaking how it is. I'm not happy this is how it is, but people pay attention to the Olympics, and
Yeah.
a very specific audience, like the masses pay attention to the Olympics, and just a very specific niche audience pays attention to the Paralympics.
Yep. Yeah. One thing that has bugged me is in the Paralympics that and like between rivalry between Paralympics and Olympics is that Paralympics bans any branding. So like if you have an Olympics tattoo or something like that, you have to cover it up before competing in the Paralympics.
Yeah, the
So
what?
yeah, if you have a tattoo of the
Oh, a
Olympics,
tattoo.
yeah, a tattoo of the Olympics, and you're competing in the Paralympics, you have to cover up the Olympics tattoo. But if you have a Paralympics tattoo, you can keep it out. So it's like a rivalry thing against
Doesn't
the
make any
Olympics.
sense.
It's a weird thing. Anyways, I do not want to hold you back from Hamzi, so I'll let you go. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it. You hear that, Hansi? You're so beloved on this show that people are literally ceding their time to you, my friend.
Yeah, I love hearing his rants and everything. So
There you go. You hear this,
go on,
Hansi?
Hamzi.
Hansi never accepts that this show is filled with an audience that appreciates him. So
I love listening to his stuff and like his thought process and everything. Yeah, even though some of them a lot of them I would disagree with, but listening to how his mind works and just listening to like I'm Ubering all over the place over here, so I'm getting to hear a lot of people's opinions, and it is amazing.
there you
Um,
go.
also an
Only,
indictment on how messed up America is and why I don't want to be here.
I'm not arguing with you there. All right.
Okay,
So,
bye.
great call. Thanks. And hope you enjoy your time in the United States of America. Are you doing anything specific, by the way?
I was here for a concert, and now I'm gonna
Oh,
be
what
yeah.
concert? Taylor Swift?
Lindsay Sterling. She's a violinist. She also dances
Oh,
while
I'm.
performing in the
Whew.
performing
That's
violin.
that's a world that I know nothing. You might as well have told me that you're listening to,
Okay, no, no.
some.
Okay, sorry. I'll take 2 minutes for this. So she is great. So she was on the X Factor or whatever it was. And then she plays the violin while dancing, while doing air acrobatics, and
What?
yeah,
Wait, so
she
you're not
is
going to see
amazing.
you did not go to see a violinist. You went to. It sounds like you went to go see a circus act. What?
No, no,
What?
she, she's mainly a violinist, but like so like you are there for the music plus the performance, so you can hear how on tune and everything, how perfect the music is while she's performing all of these actions and everything. And she has backup dancers and a backup band, etc. But she's the main performance, and she is amazing.
All right.
If you
What's
want,
her
you can
name
watch it
again?
online and
What's her
stuff.
name? What's her name?
Lindsay Sterling.
Lindsay Sterling. Oh, American violinist and songwriter. She came right up. All right,
Yep.
I'll have to check her out. Is she like a classical violinist?
I don't know if you would call her classical. I don't know much enough about music. But yeah,
Well, is she playing like Mozart and shit like that, or is she playing like?
no. She plays her own songs plus some of I think yeah, mostly her own songs. So
All
yeah.
right. Oh, well, it says here she plays
Anyway,
electronic dance music. Oh boy. I can only imagine. I'll have to check her out.
Enjoy. Hope you enjoy it. All right, bye.
All right, take care.
Take care.
Great call. All right, let's see. Anyone else want to call in? I see someone said they wanted to call in, but didn't want to interrupt Hansi. Hansi's calling in. Let's take it. The world, the entire show has moved on over, has altered their call-in schedule for the man, the myth, the legend, Hansi. Hey man, how you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad you called in. I don't know why you think I don't like when you call in. When every time you call in, I get excited to talk with you, and so does the rest of the audience excited to hear you. So, I mean, maybe one day you'll finally get it through your head that you are welcome here.
I mean, I feel as close as the election's getting. I feel like I don't know, bro. Listen, bro. I see. Okay, I like to think that I see an overview. I'm not saying my fucking theories are correct, but I understand we can't be doom and gloom. We need to have some type of like, life to go. Okay, we might like, the good guys might win, whatever is of the good guys from after that DNC shit. I can't say I'm super excited about some of the messaging, even though I like the energy.
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
I was, listen, I was paying attention to a bit of it. I thought again, I didn't listen to the vast majority of the speeches. My understanding of the event came through third party critiques and reviews of certain speeches and the event overall. But from what I understand and from what I saw, it seemed like it was okay. The event was all right until Thursday or no, Wednesday night when it became clear that they weren't going to let a Palestinian speak at the event. There was that whole thing where they were just basically saying that no, we're not going to let even though we've been stringing you along and making you believe that we were going to let someone speak, we've decided no. And then from my understanding, that Kamala's speech had some really like hardcore militaristic craziness going on in that speech. I don't know what her deal was there. I don't know what she was I mean, didn't seem like the character that she had been portraying over the past couple of weeks, honestly, but I mean, she said it, and that's the speech. What did she say? Like, she said she wants America must continue to have the most lethal military or something like that. Like, what the hell? Where did that come from?
Well, see, so this is how. Okay, so so let's say she's legit. Let's say I'm buying into the kayfabe of her legit stopping this Trump fucking ticket, whatever, right? If I believe that fundamentalists fucking run the fucking all countries at least, whatever, and they want Trump to be the face of fascism, and I'm not looking at country versus country aesthetic, then I could see her case of going, okay, we're going after the fucking bad guys. But when you start hyping up military industry, so again, this is why I can't talk to any Westerner about like foreign threats like the fundamentalist governments, because then I have to fucking praise the U.S. fucking imperialism, and I don't want to do that.
No, you don't got to. I mean, there's plenty of people. There are plenty of Westerners who criticize the U.S.
No, but
You're talking one right now, my friend.
no, but there are plenty of on that side of the coin. If you go against the U.S. imperialism, I feel some people who say they're on the left will then start praising other fundamentalists because they think you're supposed to praise Putin and King Jong Un or Assad, and because the U.S. says they're against them, whatever. And I get the citizens you should be concerned about, but I'm not going to say, again, that was like an easy thing that I would get into in the 2010s when I would take in alt media, is that I would automatically go, okay, well, if the US is against Putin, I have to defend Putin. I have to say Assad is not a bad person, or I have to say that the guy from the Chinese president is not a bad person.
No,
like, I understand.
no. I mean, I think if you're truly someone who is critical of those in power, then you critical of literally every single regime, administration, uh, democracy, monarchy, authoritarian, period. Like the entire power apparatus is critiqued. Like I
Yeah,
also don't get people who are like, oh, the West is bad, and they start praising some like authoritarian like Putin or or Kim Jong Un. Those people are my favorite. There's that great video of the guy who constantly refers to them as the DPRK. That's from like 10 years back though. That's a funny video. Oh no, but back to your point as I'm going off off topic. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there.
No, I know I get your with me, but I guess I get really get I get confused because in some way I do like it's like a WWE promo, bro. Like even though I know John Cena is not the best fucking good guy, right? If there's a really good bad guy that I want to fucking root against, I don't want to do the typical thing. I'm going, well, I'm gonna root for the fucking heel because the baby face isn't that good, right? So so I look at like the Democrats, it's like a John Cena where like, yeah, sure, they might fucking, stand up for some good shit on some level, but they'll still fucking start doing like, the typical like super pro-American type fucking promo where I can't fucking buy into it. You know what I mean? So on that front, I do want to buy into the kayfabe because whatever happens in your election coming up, I guarantee you that's going to be affecting what happens in the Canadian one because all these countries just seem to be embracing fucking far right wing populism. And I feel like it's an overall fucking goal for like a one world government or a one religion, basically. And when I see people people like who are former leftist who say they're leftist, and they'll say, oh, with Trump in office, it'll be more peaceful. And the only reason why they will be saying it'll be more peaceful with Trump is because he'll be getting along with other fundamentalist governments that will want to invoke fucking more fucking distress and oppression to the citizens of their country. And I feel like I understand because the Democrats have been fear mongering about Trump and they do it in the most like limited fucking way possible. Like they'll self-preserve that he's the biggest threat while also not addressing their hypocrisies. So there's certain people who say it on the left who are not taking Project 2025 seriously, and they don't think that what they call women, the abortions is a big fucking deal, or that like the trans issue is not a big fucking deal. And I just feel I can see the overview, and I feel like they're making us think it's not going to be a big deal, but because again, like this was the last election, I was buying into the Jimmy Dore level shit. Like, let's vote we need to vote third party. Even in Canada, I was gonna vote third party, but then like my people in my family were like they're being strategic about their fucking vote, and I was more in the fucking like not extremist, but I was kind of falling in that Jimmy Dore category about everyone who's not voting third party, the shit lib and all that. And now I've come to realize that some of these third party people, at least in the US, don't do local level fucking shit. And they only come around during the election time. So like as much as I would want like a revolution or like something to fucking like like get people free, I understand that like some of these people that are fucking like pretending that they're for revolution, they're like luring you into accepting more fundamentalism. And I just think that like I got out of that fucking mindset. Like it was hard enough getting out of the right wing conspiratorial mindset, like in being a right winger in that regard. But it also like now with some of the people who say they're left, now it seems like I'm not saying you, I'm saying like the Jimmy Dore types. Like they have gone more fucking right wing. Like it got like someone like him would like if someone goes like if Bernie Sanders became a Democrat, he would go Bernie Sanders sold out. But then when RFK goes with Trump, he's like, well, RFK will push Trump to the left basically. And it's like, dude, you have no fucking principle. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm sorry I interrupted you with my cough.
It's all good. I'll let you respond.
No, yeah, I mean. I see what you're saying. I mean, I think a lot of times you give too much You just give too much to some of these more fringe folks. I really don't think that's the vast majority of people.
Well, it isn't the massive. No. Okay, it's a Vince McMahon effect, where I personally think that someone like him, because they're
Oh, you're gonna think I did this to you, but I swear I didn't. You just froze, Hansi. Oh, you're unfreezing now slowly. Hello?
relevant, right?
Hello?
What's up?
You're freezing. Sorry, Hansi.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Can you
you
hear me
right
now?
now. I can hear you now. Yeah, you were freezing though.
Okay. No. So I'll say it quickly before I'll get to my last topic afterwards. But
You said
I'll
the
say
last
this,
thing we
like,
heard you say. The last thing I heard you say was something about the Vince McMahon effect.
No, I'm saying that you can make yourself look irrelevant. Like I understand. Listen, man, I understand when people say, even in your chat, TYT and Jimmy Dore, they're not super relevant. But I do think that when you're associating with Tucker Carlson and you're shilling for Elon Musk, I don't think that it's like, again, yeah, most people will not know who they are, but they are definitely like have influence with like, I do think it's like a think tank. You do have influence. Like I personally now look at all the TYT people that have become problematic, and I'm thinking that like these guys have all become part of a fucking think tank, in my personal opinion. Like in that regard, I know you might not see them being as relevant, whatever as that, whatever. But I
Hansi, you're breaking
personally
up
think
again.
guys are
Oh, there
very
you go.
dangerous
Okay.
people, even though
No, you're back. You're back. I don't know. I don't
you
know
know
what's
what I
going
mean.
on. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm not
No,
saying
I get it.
I'm not saying discount them completely. But I feel like just a lot of times I feel like you are giving them too much. But no, this is the show where we talk about these type of groups. So I mean, it's totally fine to discuss it here. I just don't want you personally to, because that's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like you're just like, for the sake of this show, this is the type of stuff. Let's discuss this group. To me, it sounds like you are, you focus on certain people or groups because you think they have some sort of outsized relevancy. And listen, sometimes they do in certain periods of time. I'm not saying that you're completely wrong. I would say Jimmy Dore was much more relevant. And I'm talking about when he made a change too, like, a year or two ago, when he was irrelevant as a, right winger claiming to be a leftist. But right now, he's sort of just like completely disappeared from any form of relevancy. In fact, I would say, I can't even tell you what he's been up to, and I'm someone who covered him when I felt like he was somewhat relevant. I have no idea what he's up to today. I'm sure he's still doing numbers on YouTube.
He's been catching traction because he was at the DNC. So I saw some of Lance from the Surfs doing videos on him, whatever, right? So that's because again, I don't pay attention to him as much anymore either, because
you gotta be careful. You got to be careful with some of these grifters out there. People like Lance from the Surfs will just grab anything for content.
Well, I mean, I do have criticism against. One time I want to speak to Lance, whatever, but I do have criticism. I think he overly promotes some of these like, for example, I think some of you on the left, whenever a right winger does something like comedic, like Matt Walsh's stupid movie, and it's supposed to be bad on purpose. But the thing is like, if they like, the thing is, I know you guys don't think that they're doing it on purpose. But I do think they do it on purpose because we're goofing and we're giving an engagement. And so
hold up! I just got a raid from Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report. Thank you, Mike, for the raid. Hello, Mike viewers. You know me from Leftist Mafia with Mike. I'll see you tomorrow, Mike. And also, I just want to say, over on Twitch, where Mike rated me, I am but 6 followers away from 6,000 followers on Twitch. Wow, that's a lot for me on Twitch, but also incredibly low in general. But what's up, Hansi? Go back to what you were saying.
No, it's fun. I think sometimes what they're called, people who say it on the left, they will promote. Like, I understand you got to keep an eye out on what Matt Walsh and all these guys say, but sometimes I think some of their comedic shit they try to do that fails. I think that's also a way for people to also promote their fucking shit. Also, like I don't like these like the thing about people on the right, people because they act dumb. Like there's a saying that Artie Lang told me about show business. He goes, "You're no dummy making money being stupid." And I feel like a lot of people fucking do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just look at the whole like ray gun situation in the Olympics. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, what's it called? If you sucked, you would get chastised out of society, and now you become like William Hung, where you get like a record deal for being shitty, basically. You know what I mean? And I feel like I don't know. That's just me. But before I go and depress everyone more, I wanted to talk about wrestling, if that's cool for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I love the wrestling talk. You know me.
Did you watch All Out? All In?
No, I've been completely out of the wrestling loop. Even for WWE, I have not watched in a couple weeks. I think I saw what I didn't see much of what happened, but I did catch the big thing. Bryan Danielson won the title. That's great. I'm a big Bryan Danielson fan.
Yeah, you know, it was a good match. It was probably the best type of like the epitome of a retirement like a champion versus like the champion versus putting the belt on the line versus the challenger who's gonna put retirement on the line, whatever. I thought that was one of the best cases of doing it. I didn't like that Christian won this gauntlet. Have you seen this gauntlet battle royal that the AEW does? It's like again, I know in this era, it's hard to find a concept of a Royal Rumble or a battle royal that's interesting. But AEW with this gauntlet battle royal has something really fucking good going. It's like it could be something that becomes as big as a Royal Rumble even.
What is it?
Okay, so
I'll say this. I had high hopes for AEW. I still think they're putting out, and I was a big fan for the first couple of years. I feel like they still put out great wrestling, but in terms of storylines, I really do think, and I don't just mean storylines, I mean character development, building up stars, making certain people feel like stars. This isn't everybody. They've done a good job with certain people. Like I think they've done a great job with Swerve Strickland, but I feel like overall the quality of storyline and character development has fallen over the past year or so.
See, no, I can agree with certain people on the roster who seem like they're in scattered feuds, but there's over characters, but they've done a good job with certain like specific fucking storyline that I think people overlook. Like the Tony Mariah storyline is probably one of the better storylines that they've done. Now, what they call the Swerve storylines have been good, but you know the gauntlet battle royal that they do is like, let's say me and you start off. Me and you are at an advantage because I could beat you in the middle of the ring before the next guy comes out and the match is done. So they advertise 21 people, but it only ever makes it to 12 because it's at a disadvantage for you to be later in the match. Like in the Royal Rumble, it would be an advantage for you to get into the match later on. In this one, you want to be in as quick as possible. So they basically have.
Oh wait, if the first two people are in the ring, and someone gets pinned, it's over?
It's over, yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty interesting.
See, they've done the battle royal a couple of times on the TV, but they did it at All In, and it never makes it to 21st person. Like that guy Evil Uno from Dark Order, he was advertised for the match, but he didn't make it into the match at All In because they didn't get to 21 people. They got to number 12 basically. So I think like that concept is a really good it worked out well because dude, I know you're an ROH guy, or you were an ROH guy, but how do you feel about Nigel McGuinness returning?
I saw that. I am very excited. I don't know how he is now. I was a fan of him.
He's still good.
I was a big fan of Ring of Honor in the late 2000s, early 2010s. That was when they, in my opinion, were at their peak. AJ Styles was just on his way out. I know AJ Styles is a big part of the company, but he was just on his way out. Samoa Joe was also he was still there, but he was on his way out. But I was there for Bryan Danielson. I was there for Nigel McGuinness, for Kevin Steen, now Kevin Owens, El Generico, now Sami Zayn, even though don't ask him that. Jimmy Jacobs, Seth Rollins, who then was Tyler Black, Necro Butcher, Brody Lee, Morishima. That was to me peak Ring of Honor. That's when I think of Ring of Honor, I think of that period. That was Nigel McGuinness was like the guy during that period that everyone said was going to be the one most likely to succeed in the WWE. He had the look, he had the wrestling style, he was a big guy. Everyone thought at that time, out of all the Ring of Honor guys, he would be the one to be the breakout star if and when he got signed by the WWE. And then never happened for him. Bryan Danielson ends up going there, huge star. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they all go there pretty much. Seth Rollins, they all become the big star. And Nigel McGuinness never does. I know he was sick or something like that. He had some sort of medical condition that stopped him from becoming a star or even getting signed by the WWE. But, he ended up going to TNA. TNA was sort of...
He had that one good match with Kurt Angle, and everyone thought he was going to be like a main eventer, but then I think he had like hepatitis C or something for a bit or something like that. That was the rumor. And then so that's how I saw, because I didn't watch ROH when he was there. I started getting into it when the Generico and Kevin Steen storyline started happening, because I was so sick of the WWE product and I didn't know much about ROH. So I had to go and start doing YouTube searches and watching Bryan Danielson's run. Like they upload some of these matches on there on these fringe channels that I would find full matches. Like I saw the whole Samoa Joe and CM Punk trilogy after the fact and all that kind of stuff. But like, you know what I mean? Like I understand ROH wasn't as super buzzworthy in like the 2010s. Like even though they got bigger as like, as a company in the sense that like they had more buzz with like the WrestleMania weekend stuff, like the Bullet Club stuff interrupting in that, right? And I thought Jay Lethal's world title run was the first one was probably one of the best things the company has done. I'm excited for. I wanted Nigel to win the match to face Bryan, but I was so pissed that Christian won. Even though Christian's doing a fucking good job, I just don't. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to a Christian world title run. Even though I think especially if he's the one that beats Bryan Danielson, but people think that Bryan Danielson, because again, I know Bryan Danielson is not a selfish guy. I think he'll probably lose the title sooner than later. I think because his next challenger, I don't know who he's facing at All Out, but he's facing Darby Allin, and I think Darby Allin's probably going to get the belt from Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam most likely.
Excuse me, sorry. You think they're going to give the world title to Darby Allin?
I mean, they've been elevating him up to be an important guy. I could see that happening, but I
would give them credit for doing that. He's a smaller guy. I'm all for that as a smaller guy myself. But he seems like the type of guy who will hit his peak during the chase for the title. And the second you have him actually win it, I feel like it's all going to be downhill from there.
Well, no. See, here's my idea though, because if Christian has the title shot, and they said that it can be cashed in at any time, if Bryan Danielson loses to Darby Allin, then the best way to go, then you repeat what happened to Bryan Danielson when he first won his title and got cashed in on. You have Christian cash in on him, and then you have a chase for Darby to get it back for a second time, but this will be his definitive reign, basically. So you'll have the moment of him winning it, but you have Christian take it away for his first time, because then he'll really get ready. Because they did that with Josh Alexander in TNA, and he ended up having like the world's longest reign in TNA. He probably did the best job as a champion in that company. I don't know if you're keeping up with NXT, but they've been doing a good job with incorporating TNA and NXT together, where like you have some of these TNA talents show up to WWE. Because like that guy Joe Henry, he's becoming really, really fucking popular. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, that's my son. is a big fan of him because of the song. I mean, and now my 5-year-old daughter is singing the song too. They are become complete Joe Hendry fans. He's going to be coming here to wrestle in Amazing Reds. Amazing Red has an indie federation nearby. He's going to be coming in September, so we're going to go see it. See him.
Oh, it's dope, man.
Yeah, he's going to be a big star if they continue. I don't know what the deal is with TNA because I've noticed, even though he's constantly been on NXT, they keep having to refer to him as a TNA guy because he is signed there. I don't know. I'm sure they'll end up working out something to get him full time, but he's going to be a big star. He's going to be huge, I think.
Look, this past week's segment on NXT, he does diss songs, right? And then he got the crowd to sing the chorus of the diss. And so when Ethan Page, who's an NXT champion, came out to talk, the crowd is singing the chorus of the song while Ethan is talking during the whole promo. It's one of the best things. You gotta look at the channel and look it up. It's actually one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But before I go, listen, AJ Styles, right? He's always been in a placeholder in WWE since like not really being in like the main event completely. He's kind of like just had good matches, but he's not had anything super dope. I think the one, I don't know if he should leave or not, but the one last thing that I think that he could do a game changer with, because they didn't capitalize off of it since ROH, I think he and CM Punk need to have a fucking feud. Because they do have like a little bit of real life heat as well. From like I don't know what the heat is, but I think it's more difference of like political view or whatever the hell it is. But I think that's like the one last thing that I would want to see AJ Styles do in WWE is actually have a blood feud with CM Punk. And do you think? So I'll get you. I want to get your thoughts, and I'll leave afterwards.
Hold on, ask me that one more time.
No, I was saying what's it called? Like the one last thing that AJ Styles can do in WWE that will, like, I mean, he's already gone for the title multiple times.
AJ Styles not leaving that company. He's there for life.
No, but what I'm saying, the last one good thing that he can do is actually have a feud with CM Punk because they haven't fought since ROH.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I think there's a lot they could do with both of them still, obviously. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I just think I think that makes sense. Obviously, they're going to do all this stuff. I think. I think I think both those guys are there for life. I don't know any other big stars that are gonna like. There was a time where I think people were wondering which big stars were going to jump from WWE to AEW. I don't think that's the case anymore. Everyone is going to stay in WWE who's in WWE. And I don't know if that's the same for AEW right now. I know there's a number of AEW guys who want to jump. I know Ricochet just left WWE for AEW, but that makes sense for someone like him. He sort of hit his peak, unfortunately, in WWE. I don't know if there was much more places for him to go there.
Yeah, no, I get that with the clone though, because the thing is, AJ Styles has been around and he'll get a world title shot, but creatively, since like maybe 2020, I think the last really notable thing that he's really done was the Undertaker feud for the pandemic WrestleMania, right? And he's had like little feuds for the IC title here and there. He's had a world title feud with Cody, but like the thing is, like, it doesn't feel like there's really been anything super important about him since at least when he came back the last time, whatever, he's had a match with Roman Reigns and all that kind of shit. But I think like they're never gonna elevate him. So I think the last really good thing that I think they can do with him in the company, I know he might be there for life, but the last interesting thing they can do with him and get good mic time with it is having a feud with CM Punk. I think like I think this Drew McIntyre feud has gone on a little too long to me, to tell you the truth. Now I don't think they've capitalized off of it as well as I thought. Their match at SummerSlam was not that great, bro. I'm more hyped for Seth versus Punk than I am for Drew versus Punk, but that's all I can really say. And by the way, before I go, how do you feel with Gunther as world champion? Because the reason why I'm asking is because there's so many times in WWE throughout the last 10 years that somebody will cut a promo, a bad guy, and he'll like talk about wanting to deliver on his message. And I find that it would take away if you don't book the wrestler right. If you keep making him lose, their promos don't mean shit. And I feel Gunther is one of the first examples in a while where someone has made promises in promos and he delivers on his promises.
Right.
Where he's become a lot more fucking credible. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
feels like this is what they should have done. Bray Wyatt and all that type of shit.
Yeah, they've done a good job of building him up as a legitimate monster. Like not like the Brock Lesnar type monster where it's like, what's the point? Like he's just gonna come in and destroy the guy. But like he's a legitimate like wrestler who has great matches, and Brock has great matches too. I'm not gonna pretend that that's not true, but they don't do the squash matches with Gunther. They have him actually go out there and have full blown matches, like to show that he goes the limit and wins every time. Well, almost every time. And they've done a good job of building him up as like the real like main regular villain, if you ask me, in the WWE.
Do you think the title reign should be long, or do you think that it shouldn't be again? They won't do it as long as the IC title reign, but do you think that they'll give him a long reign as a whole?
I mean, I think they got to. I mean, I don't think you can after. I know it's not the same title as the one that Cody beat beat Roman Reigns for, but you can't have a guy hold the title for like 3+ years and then have a monster come in and hold like an equivalent title. I'm not saying he's got to hold it for 3+ years, but he's got to have a nice lengthy, like I would say year-long reign. Otherwise, like I feel like it looks silly that like the monster guy couldn't hold the title for anywhere near as long as Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. Okay, yo, bro, I'm gonna take off, but I just wanted to talk to you I'm glad you're back, bro. I hope you had fun on your vacation and all that. And I'm sorry for being paranoid, man, but thank you for letting me on. I appreciate it, man. Peace out.
No, it was a great call. I appreciate you calling in every time, Hansi. Have a great night.
Peace out.
All right. Geez, so many people are calling in on Skype. I'll just do Skype calls today, I think, at this point. I'll take a few more calls. Only because it's getting hot in here. All right, here we go. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Dave from Jamaica. Long time no see, man. Or I should say, long time no call.
Who? Dave from where? I don't recall.
Well, what? Yeah.
I'm joking because it's been so long. It's been so long. I haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing, Dave?
Not too bad. Seems like you've gone through a whole new haircut and everything.
Yeah, it's a little bit not looking right now because I didn't. I'm kind of sweaty and it's hot in here. It's kind of flat and out of it. But yeah, it was actually looking pretty good lately. It grew in really nice, and it's looking really it's looking weird right now. Just tonight.
Well, don't worry. I have the haircut blues as well. As in, well, not much of a haircut, but I don't know what to do with it, so it's kind of grown wild and bushy.
I hear you.
But sorry, I'm reading the chat. Somebody says Dave from Barbados.
Dave from Barbados. Yeah, that's. I could have been. It could have been. I don't know. It's been so long. Did you move? Who knows?
No. Nah. But it's been a while. I had the chance to call in, because as you know, you do a later night stream, so around these times I'm kind of falling asleep.
I hear you. What time is it over there again?
How's your vacation? Oh, it's still the same 10. I'm just.
Oh, really? Is it? Oh, okay. All right. No, I was just calling you out. I knew what time it was there.
But so not to pry too much unless this is assassination coordinates. Where were you vacationing?
We went to Florida and we hit up Disney World.
The West Coast one or the Florida one?
Well, I said we were in Florida.
Sorry. I didn't hear you. I'm living on the side of a road.
And I should note that Disney World
Mhm.
is the only one in Florida because the one in California is
It's
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Mm. I wonder what's the difference between land and world
Oh, it's
in the
actually
theme park sense.
don't get me started. It's actually a big difference. Disneyland is much smaller and it's only
Mhm.
basically Disneyland, and they did open up a second like park called California Adventure, which is like all the Marvel stuff.
What? Uh-huh.
But Disney World is like 4 separate theme parks, 2 separate water parks, a whole like
Oh.
mall shopping area called Disney Springs. It's an entire with they have resorts. It's a whole different thing. Disney World is literally like an entire. It's like its own country, really.
Ah.
They have a large piece of land that they haven't even used the most of it yet. So get ready for like 5 new theme parks by the time you're dead. I'm sure.
Oh dear. Well, I have very little memories of Disney World as a kid back when my folks were richer. But
Right.
one thing I've heard remains the same is never use their Disney hotels. Never, because they're
Oh.
going to screw you on the price.
Well, they
terribly.
do have cheaper hotels now. Back in the day, I don't think they had the cheaper hotels. I remember the expensive ones back in the day. Yes, they were. I
Mhm.
heard the same things, but now they have like the ones that are further away, but they're still on the property.
So all right, I'll dive into the politics instead, because as fun as catching up is, the
Hey, I could talk about Disney all day if you wanted to. I mean, I got to ride the new Tiana ride that was all the hubbub about them replacing Splash Mountain with Tiana and how people were upset, and of course the various right wingers were blaming woke for taking away Splash Mountain, and they had to give the Black Princess a ride. Of course, I saw those complaints. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Was it the same as Splash Mountain? No. Did I enjoy it just as much? Yeah, sure. It's
if,
two
an-
different
if
things.
anything, if anything, I am all for kind of replacing the older rides unless they're like ridiculously good. Because when you compare them to the newer ones, even though I have very little theme park experience, the newer ones tend to have a little more G's to them, a little more
Well,
speed to them. Yeah.
this is the same exact ride but with a different theme. Like
Oh.
they didn't change Splash Mountain, the actual ride at all. They
Oh.
just took out the story and the animatronics from, the Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, Brer Bear. Those characters are gone, and
We still have the splash though.
it still has the splash.
So what I was trying to, well, since you brought up the old adage, if something changes, it's woke, or if I don't like it, it's woke. How d- how you think Disney is faring with DeSantis? Because I remember he was going after them for a bit, but far as I know, Disney's a big, powerful corporate behemoth. So
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't think he was
I
gonna win that
haven't
one.
been paying too much attention to it since it fell off. I
Mhm.
think I'm pretty sure Disney won. Whatever it was, they won. I will say that like a day or two after I got there, or maybe it was a few days after I got there, that news broke about that lawsuit Disney got shit for. You heard about this?
No, I haven't. Go ahead.
All right,
Is it
so
about the Star Wars thing that
no,
they
no. So
dropped?
this guy and his wife, a
Mhm.
couple. It was either a couple months ago or last year. It was before I went there. Obviously, well before that. It was like either 6 months ago or a year ago or something like that. The guy and his wife went to Disney Springs.
Mm.
That's the area I was telling you about. That's like a whole like shopping center. It's like Disney's version of a shopping center, but there are third-party companies that rent from them. Like there's restaurants and like the stores like Harley Davidson and like Old Navy and things like that. Like it's not all Disney, but it's their property though. But one of the restaurants there, a guy and his wife went to eat there, and they apparently asked them while they were there about like his wife's allergies. And they said, don't worry about it. The meal is the allergen issue is taken care of or whatever. So they ate a meal there. Lo and behold, it appears that something was wrong with what they said, allegedly, and the wife ended up dying shortly after.
Jesus.
Yeah. So the husband is suing Disney, and I think he was only I think the lawsuit's only for something like $50,000 or something like that. It's something that's not
Just 50. Yeah, it's not that
It was
big,
something
but-
like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Disney's lawyers claimed that the guy could not sue them. He had to take it to arbitration. And their
Mm.
argument was the reason he had to do that was because when he signed up for a trial to Disney Plus, the streaming service, in their terms of service, he agreed that any dispute he had with Disney had to be taken to arbitration.
Wait.
So Yes. So the argument was something like, if you ever wanted to sue Disney for anything, you can't if you had a trial to Disney Plus because you agreed to take them to settle any disputes through arbitration and not through court. And when this got out, it was like all over the internet. People were criticizing Disney for how insensitive that is for this particular lawsuit, and also how ridiculous it is in general. And now, listen, I know there's more to this case. For example, I think the issue was I didn't get a chance to read the legal or watch any of the legal YouTubers or anything like that. But there's something more to it where Disney actually, their argument is definitely insensitive and comes off wrong. But also, it doesn't seem like Disney is the appropriate party that he's supposed to be suing. Because they went to a third-party restaurant. It's a company. It's a food chain that rents the property on Disney Springs.
Mhm.
But that's not Disney that served them the food. It was the third-party restaurant that made those allergy claims. It was something
so
like
they're
that.
saying to get the gist of it, they're saying he sued the wrong person. He should have sued that third party that's affiliated with Disney. Yeah.
I mean, that's
instead of Disney directly.
That's the crux of how stupid it is even for Disney to argue this, because it seems like it's just they're gonna get off anyway because it's not on them apparently. Now I'm not 100% what the deal was there, but basically the story got out. Disney's lawyers actually used the Disney Plus subscription, and Disney came out after this went viral and said they're taking back their filing. They're going to allow the guy to sue them. This was it was inappropriate and wrong of their lawyers to have done that. And listen, I'm going to assume, based on what I know about these big companies, is that they hired law firms to fucking be ruthless. And sometimes these
that's
law
some
firms,
demon time ruthlessness.
Yeah, and sometimes these law firms are so fucking ruthless they don't think about the bad PR in certain cases that the company they're supposed to represent are going to get for some of these arguments, and that seems to be what happened. If I was Disney, I mean, I would fucking get rid of that law firm if that's really what happened, because that's fucking ludicrous. Especially over $50,000 too.
So it's basically Disney outsourcing a lot of stuff, like their legal things, where
I mean,
if it was Disney proper,
a lot of companies do that. Yeah.
Right. If it was Disney proper, as Rachel is saying, they would just drop the $50,000 and call it a day.
I mean, they probably should have, or at least just have filed for it to be thrown out on account of them not being the party involved.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the more legitimate argument. That's not our restaurant.
No, well, that's just crazy. I know some lawyers are on demon time, but that aside,
I mean, if I was Disney, I would just pay out the $50,000. That's super simple. That's nothing to them.
But that's crazy. Well,
it was an interesting story to see.
Mm-hmm.
Just while I was at Disney World, it was good to know that if anything happened to me while I was on Disney property, my Disney Plus subscription basically protected Disney from a lawsuit from me.
All he wanted to do is to see that new Star Wars. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Well,
Just
that's a
wanted to,
lesson learned.
just wanted to watch an episode of The Mandalorian. The next thing I know, I'm dead and can't sue my family can't sue Disney.
Well, I hope
But anyway,
Netflix
in
doesn't open up a theme park.
the latest controversy I've seen concerning this is okay. So in Disneyland,
Mhm.
they're currently doing a Deadpool and Wolverine show because the movie just came out, and it's like a comedy show because that's how Deadpool is. And
Doesn't that
apparently-
clash with this? If they're doing a show, or I was thinking like a show on the property, or this is just a separate thing.
no, they're
show?
doing a live show on the property, like in the
Wow.
Disneyland park.
Because doesn't
and-
that clash with the kid friendly thing?
Well, Deadpool is Disney now. That's just how he is. So apparently, he makes the in the act. Deadpool makes a reference to Disney's terms of Disney Plus's terms of service
Hmm.
as like a reference to what happened, and people online are in an uproar over it, saying it's disrespectful to the guy who is suing them. But if you
Mhm.
actually listen to what he's saying, it's actually like a knock at Disney for even doing it to begin with. Like the company is making fun of themselves for doing it. But people have no media literacy nowadays, so they don't understand what the joke is.
Well, come on, just like is this shocking? Because like just the other day, conservatives found out that The Boys is making fun of them directly.
Yeah.
It only
Yeah.
took 4 seasons, so
Yeah.
that's one thing somebody should actually dive into is why is media literacy that bad? Has it always been that bad?
Yeah.
That's why I'm beginning to wonder.
No, I
just-
think it is bad. I think it's always been pretty bad for people. I think what will shock you is just how young people's media literacy is just as bad as older people's. You would think it would have gotten better because they grew up online. But it's just not true, actually. In fact, I would say some young people are even more susceptible to this stuff. I think a problem is that people are so used to seeing something published as official. And now that anyone can publish anything at any time, people are viewing anything and everything as official instead of altering their understanding of what's official. And now it's not like,
Yeah, good point.
yeah.
But if anything, well, I'll make this the last topic because I don't want to come back and immediately hog the line. So they're speaking of the social media I was thinking about in general is that I've noticed with younger men and women there seems to be a huge gender divide because there's some recent polling that shows like the under 35 age group is a huge gender divide. And I'm beginning to think maybe all the manosphere adjacent content is really beginning to our hustle culture stuff, like you would cover in Scam Academy, and
Oh yeah, I've
has
mentioned
really
this.
really
it's-
set in.
It's always been that way though, and I think it's especially becoming obvious now because all these hustle culture influencers are coming out and just openly endorsing Trump now. I mean,
That's
you know
the
what I
money
mean?
player. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the money player.
yeah, I mean, all these guys listen, I got into tech, like journalism, during like the early startup, like the late 2000s, early 2010 days, where like all these social media companies were coming up, and I thought like these stories were really interesting and stuff. But it became pretty clear that like there was a jump from like, oh, I want to create something, and if I, I want to and like I want to create something cool to like I want to create something and get rich. Like it went from like I'm not saying like Mark Zuckerberg came up like wanting to not get rich and make the world better, but like that's not true, obviously. But like he was just wanted to get popular. Like that was his thing. It wasn't about getting rich then. There was the money wasn't the ultimate thing then because they didn't know they could make money like that through these bullshit companies then. Like, no, none of these guys thought they were gonna be as fucking rich as they were through like this shit. Mark Zuckerberg wanted to get chicks in college. That was his whole idea. I'm not saying so. So like, you know, I think once people realized you could get rich off of this shit, it became even more weird and tainted than it already was.
Oh, that reminds me. I know I only use Facebook to talk to like my friends or my girlfriend or stuff like that, but it seems that I've been just looking at Facebook. Twitter is bad, TikTok can get bad, but Jesus Christ, Facebook is like it's either a scam, sneaky porn, or just AI garbage.
A lot of AI garbage on Facebook. Yes.
If you compare like Facebook to when 2 years after it came out to now, it's like I would even recommend it as a birthday tracker because it's just hard. It's just where
I'm in a few like tech Facebook groups that are still good. Facebook groups are like the last good thing on Facebook. Find a group of actual people who are interested in whatever the group is about, and it's actually pretty good. But that's it. Like the main Facebook, outside of Facebook groups, it's just garbage now. It's irrelevant.
I'm surprised that thing is even making money because it's outside of driving very old people insane.
I will say the ads are still very targeted. The ads I get on Facebook are much more relevant to my. In fact, the ads are better than the actual content in the feed.
Oh, kind of like the
ads are like the ads are like, oh, that seems like an interesting app. I'll check it out. That's actually really something that really is relevant to my interests. I've never felt that way about an ad on like. I've never felt that way about an ad on like fucking Twitter or some shit like that.
No. The Twitter ads are horrible. Like,
yeah.
Maybe this is giving away too much of my personal stuff, but the only ads I get is workout ads. So I don't know if Facebook.
There you go. Yeah, I will say the ads on Facebook are very targeted. So.
Like,
So if you're
but anyway,
if you're on Facebook, like if you're going to the marketplace and searching steroids near me, then I'm sorry to say, buddy, that they know.
No, they haven't been hitting me up with that, but it's more like, hey, lose weight, fatso. So like, damn.
Well, I hope you're actually searching like workout stuff, and you're not like on Facebook being like, Burger King, and they're like, whoa, buddy, you search Burger King too much. Here's some workout ads.
And this will be the last thing. So outside of AI that's doing very interesting, using your voice and dubbing it in a different language, even though I've been told by some native speakers it's a little off. But outside of that, there hasn't been anything really useful coming from AI.
I hate dubs, honestly. I really don't like the dubbing stuff. I really don't like it. I'd much rather read subtitles, honestly. I just don't like dubbing. It seems so I mean, it's just not for me. Listen, there are some interesting AI stuff I've seen. There's some like voice to text stuff I've seen that like that's better than like the old dictation stuff. I still think those apps where you upload your like YouTube video and it like finds the best moments and clips them and like cuts them into like social media like sizes and stuff, so you don't have to do that stuff. Like the sort of stuff that's monotonous. I still think some of that stuff is interesting. It's the like generative AI stuff that's garbage.
Right.
From what I've seen.
You've probably seen the whole ones where they have the presidential candidates singing Mandarin, but that usually the better ones usually have a lot of editing.
I don't mind stuff. I don't mind stuff like that if it's to create like low quality like internet meme stuff. Listen, people are gonna create garbage on the internet. I think AI is fine if you're gonna use it for like meme type stuff like that. I don't think it is good or it will ever be good at replacing
Mhm.
true artistry that, like, if you're a graphic designer or an animator or an illustrator, like, listen, the guys making the stupid like Donald Trump dancing videos, they're not
No,
gonna they were
that's
never they,
garbage.
they were never gonna hire someone to do that for them. So, like, fuck it, let them use stupid AI stuff for silly memes. No one's making any money off of that. Who cares? um
Well,
but
as you said,
like
it can't.
but
Where I remember in the early days, a lot of artists were worried, but it seems there, as I kind of predicted, there's a cap to what these algorithms can do when it comes to generating art, quote unquote, right? Because I've seen it not get much better. I just seen it get
and
maybe a
listen,
little more
like
higher resolution, but that's
I
it.
think I think if there's a filmmaker out there who
Hmm.
is working on an extremely low budget film and they're actually shooting stuff and it's their entire thing and they use AI to help make something look better or a little bit
Hmm.
more legit and they don't have the budget for a big special effects animation studio, I think that's generally fine. I mean, that's what we want. We want people to low budget people to have more accessibility to stuff. That doesn't mean I want them sitting on their. I don't think a filmmaker should sit on their ass and create an entire movie by just typing in text. But if you're already a filmmaker and you're actually on set and shooting stuff with real actors, and you need like a little creature for like a scene, and you've
But
hired an animator to
hmm
create the creature and everything, and there's a 3D
hmm
artist creating it, and you just need like an AI thing to smooth something out or help with the motion of something, I think generally that's fine.
no, well,
It's
like in
it's
the new
it's when people are
Spider-Man movie,
is when people
I'm
are
pretty sure
totally is
they
when
only
people are
used it. They
yeah
only used it to do like what is it said, repetitive stuff. It's not.
yeah.
It can't replace the creative process.
I
It's
think
just
if you're
like. Mm,
if you're using it to actually help an artist
hmm
create something, I don't really have a problem with that. But if it's there to replace an artist, it's not going to do good, and it's that I
It's
don't
gonna
agree
do
with that either.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. But anyway, Matt, it's good to talk with you. And time to free up the line so somebody else can get in. So catch you later, Matt.
Yeah, take care. I mean, the thing is, a lot of AI stuff is just like, except for like the actual generative AI stuff, a lot of stuff being pegged as AI is actually just like algorithms and automation that have existed long before like this AI buzz. I've talked about this before. Like a lot of the automation stuff and the algorithm powered stuff, a lot of that existed and it just like rebranded itself as AI to follow the hype that generative AI and Chat GPT were bringing. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Ren. Can you hear me?
Hey, Red, I can hear you. What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's only doing it over speaker. Sorry, it's only doing it over my earpiece, like a
Oh,
normal phone call, but that's no
it,
biggie.
it sounds
Um,
fine to me.
yeah. Um, how much of the DNC did you watch? I figure
Not really anything on it. I mean, I followed along. I saw like
that's
people talk
good.
about it. I mean, I heard.
That's
Listen, I mentioned this on when I called into Leftist Mafia from Disney on Thursday night. A lot of people probably didn't see it because I called in very late. Like they were about to end the show when I called in, and they stuck around like an extra hour because I called in. It seems.
that's nice.
But like I think people are looking to. I'm not saying this about the Palestinian speaker stuff. It is abhorrent they didn't let a Palestinian speaker up there, um, especially because of what I'm about to say. The idea of a political convention is so outdated nowadays. Like it really does mean nothing now. Like the political convention used to be an actual process, and it was not only that, but it was necessary in terms for these Democrats from all over to come and see each other, network, meet, talk, see each other in person. A lot of times there would actually be a political process with like a fight on the floor and stuff like that. Things that sometimes people talk about even nowadays, but it hasn't happened in like a generation. Now though, it's just irrelevant. It's just a bunch of speeches. There's nothing happening there. Like I think people put too much into the convention. And on top of that, why I was saying that about the Palestinian speaker, the fact that it just doesn't it's just an event, like it's just a speaking event, there was no good reason to not let a Palestinian speak. Like
Yeah, I agree.
it's just not as relevant as it was decades ago. There's no political process happening there. The nominations already
Still is
happened.
relevant.
They've already
I agree
all
with you.
called
I think
in.
it still is relevant to the way we do politics.
You disagree? Oh, I don't. But go ahead, explain.
Well, I think that just like people see it as just an advertisement on television, and I think that's not totally correct. But I think that is a big part of the utility of having a political convention, is that it allows you to fully articulate what your party is about to the American people. And there's I think that the smoke-filled room, that era is like long behind us, but I think it is still really important to show unity and to allow for people with differing views and of different I guess different caucuses and different groups that they're representing, like allowing them to have a space at the convention. I you know what? I'm going to leave it there so you can respond to that.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I just don't think in the big picture it matters. I really don't. It's just nowadays, like, it's the same thing as like all conventions. Like, what is Comic-Con now? It's just an event for people to go to have fun. That's not what it used to be. It was actually where like announcements were made, like, because that was the best method to mass
Disseminate
distribution.
it to the community.
Yeah. Look at the video game community. E3 is dead because it's irrelevant now. You don't need a video game convention anymore. E3 was where all the big gaming companies got together and made their big announcements every year. But they don't need a convention anymore. They can just fucking make an announcement to their entire community online, to the tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people that follow them online. Like, it's just if you don't have the hook of people attending in person to have fun just being there, it's just sort of irrelevant. And I'm looking at the TV ratings. Sure, a lot of people watched, 20 million overall, something like that. I don't know how they count that. Like, is that 20 million? It was an average of 21 million, it says. Does that mean 21 million people tuned in all 4 nights? How long did they tune in for? How many speeches did they watch? I mean, I don't know. I would say most people probably
too many speeches, too many fucking speeches.
But you're in this.
I'm a psycho. I am a psycho. I treat politics like someone who's addicted to huff and glue treats Elmer's.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not talking about you and me and the people who watch this show. Like, how many people? Like, even if you take 21 million, which is a lot of people.
I gotta say though, Matt, your point about E3, and I think that this is mirrored by things like political conventions. I think that E3 going away was a massive loss for the gaming community. And somebody like me, who is a massive tech nerd, I didn't know that there was a PlayStation hardware revision until 1 week ago. That console revision came out like in fucking September or October of 2023. I didn't know about something for almost a whole year. And if there was a single centralized place that wasn't all of these little atomized things where people could find out what's going on in the gaming scene, I think that you would have a lot more people knowing about more things.
I mean, I think you probably aren't as psycho about video games as you are about politics. Now, other psycho people in the video game world knew about it. Hello? Uh-oh. Did we lose you?
But
did you
okay,
hear me?
do you want to go back to talking about the DNC? I would disagree with you that I'm not psycho about video games because I install mod chips in consoles.
Listen,
I know how to use a soldering iron I know how to use a car.
I'm just bringing up that, that's just how it is, I mean, I don't mean to I just
and
don't
part
think
of that's also probably because I'm not in the market because I don't have the
let's put it this way.
disposable
let's put it this
Oh,
way.
go ahead.
What from the 2020 DNC matters now?
Specifically just like I have this image of when I was 17, like seeing Joe Biden step out after like getting hyped up for the better part of a week. And like the thing that sticks out to me, I guess, was Bill Clinton's diminished presence at that Democratic convention, along with, I don't know what the word is, whatever it is, like building up Joe Biden. The aggrandizing of Joe Biden.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's it, right? I mean, nothing really important.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that was also a virtual convention. Like I can point out big memorable moments from the 2016 Democratic convention and the 2012 convention and the 2024 convention. Like when Bill Clinton had finished introducing Hillary, and then she comes in on this like massive screen, and like the CGI glass particles are going everywhere, and it looks like some like villain in like a superhero movie. And just felt really, really weird and awkward. Like that is the most memorable thing to me about that convention.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you remember like specific things in it, but I mean, it really isn't overall like nothing substantial came out of it, right? Like.
Well, I mean, if you're a political nerd, you see the certain types of people that they have at those conventions. And, you know, for example, I forget which person it was. I think it was like the cop or something, or somebody in whatever, that first showed up at the 2016 DNC that was pretty prominent at the 2024 DNC. It kind of tells you where the establishment of the party is going.
Yeah.
But getting back to the DNC, I watched all 4 nights of it from 4 p.m. Oregon time to like 8 p.m. So I watched like a dozen to like 15 hours of the DNC. And like, I just got to this like breaking point, like right after Kamala said, "I'll continue to ensure we have the most lethal fighting force in the world." And I just, it killed me. Because like, yeah, it is largely just a bunch of speeches. There's not that deliberation you'd get from like the old school style conventions. And I just wanted to feel spoken to a single time during all of that, and I really didn't. And
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And the whole rest of the convention really undercut like Tim Walz and other people who were there's credibility, I feel. And, you know, not everybody's going to share that opinion. But for me, it kind of got me to a point where, you know, the day that Biden dropped out, I was like, I'm proud to be voting for Kamala Harris this November. And now I'm like, unless she displays that she's trustworthy, I think I'm just going to vote Merkley and sit home on the presidential ticket. I'm not voting for West. I'm not voting for Stein, because neither of them are credible. But like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that ticket anymore.
I hear you.
It was just, for me, as an uncommitted voter, I was like, you know, like we have our delegates, and our delegates should have been given like, I'm not asking for like incredible concessions. But like we should have been given a space at the Democratic convention. It didn't have to be during prime time. They could have put it like 4 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern, and like I don't care, but we didn't get that. We got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's just it's disappointing. I hear you.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was going to talk about other than personal life. You know what? I think I know what I'll talk about. Like I had a really negative like reaction to the DNC, but it kind of like, I don't know, it had a positive fallout over the next couple of days, because, you know, at first I was like feeling this abandonment, you know, and I was like, shit, I really don't feel like a Democrat, and I was like, you know, I don't think I have an ally in this party or in this government. And then I was talking to my friend, and she was like, if you don't like what you're seeing, you should either get involved with your local Democratic Party, or like, you know, try to get some low level, county level, city level government position at some point. And like it sucks to see people with our kinds of politics. Like, sure, there was AOC, but like that was a bit of a different thing than what we normally get from AOC. It sucks to see people who like care deeply about what's going on in Gaza not be centered, but I don't know, it kind of made me feel like I was a little bit more free to like work outside of pressing a button every 4 years. And I was like, okay, now I can really just like buckle down and focus on my local elections, and like getting things for people like in my immediate community, and just kind of ignoring national politics.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying about it. It's just, I just don't want people to put too much time into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be too invested in something that you're not gonna.
I think I needed to put less time into it.
Yeah.
Because that's not good. That's not good for anybody.
Right.
Even if you like get the thing you want, and like you quote unquote win, that's like, I don't know, it's kind of addictive. Like there's something about the whole roller coaster of like politics that is just very like very, very negative for your mental health over like a long term.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop off because you should probably take somebody else's call.
No, I hear you. I'm just trying to like, you know, I'm trying to think of what to say, because I think I think a lot of people who watch this show felt, or watch any of these online left stuff, you know, they came away disappointed from it. And of course, like, it's not for us, or you know what I mean? Like, I maybe it helped that I was away for it, so I wasn't as, you know, connected to it as maybe if I was home watching it. But like, it's pointless. I in the end, like, I know people. I know what you're saying. I know it's not completely meaningless, but it's just not that important in the big picture. I really don't think, like I said before, like, I can't remember anything that really matters from it in previous ones. And you know, the idea that the Democratic Party is any different, I think people are hoping it is, but we just don't know. And you're not going to hear it. They're not going to say it. They're not going to say it at the DNC. Like, it's just going to be what happens. Like, would you have watched Biden in 2020 and assumed he would have been, you know, at least the beginning of his presidency, not bad, strong on labor, actually pulled the trigger and got us out of Afghanistan? Like,
that was good. That I woke up the day after that being like, whoa, like, this is the first day of my life that my country has not been directly in war in the Middle East. You know, I was born in 2003. Like, I was born after the invasion of Iraq. And so for me, like, it was just such a fact of life that, like, oh yeah, we're just kind of perpetually at war and spending money on war and destabilization in these areas of the world. And then like, I don't know, it felt good. It felt good. And there was something like really great about like the Dark Brandon stuff, where like Republicans were like showing their freak so intensely that like we were beating them with like a nominee that couldn't speak. And like as kind of chaotic as like 2022 was, it was like it felt good, because it was like we're like working on a handicap here. Like we have one hand tied behind our backs and we're still managing to like massively outperform in midterms and all this other shit. But like towards the end of him being on the ticket, it was just absolute despair, because it felt like a death march into losing the House, Senate, and presidency.
Right. Yeah.
Like Harris, like I don't know. Like I felt really drained on the stuff with Palestine. I don't know if you feel like this, but it kind of feels like November 2023 again. Like I've kind of got my energy back a little bit to start talking about it more. And like, I don't know, I kind of have a fire lit under me in a way that I definitely didn't 2 months ago.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, it's with everything going on, I think you just have to look at it that way. And whatever happens, happens. Because there's nothing else that we could really do at this point. We got put in a very specific situation, and that's where we are. Yeah, but I'm sorry. Before I realized I was uncharacteristically quiet for a minute, but I was just trying to formulate. I was trying to like actually address what you were saying, because I think it's how a lot of people are feeling.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for calling. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Oh my God. I just wanted to say something else really quick before I go.
No, please go ahead.
Guy, he called in as RFK, and the real RFK called in, and I was disappointed with his performance, and I just like, my voice is not strong enough to be able to do it today, but I so badly wanted to call in as Donald Trump and be like, I just got out of re-education camp. Nobody's ever been more reformed than I'm reformed right now. And then just going on and being like, folks, this election, it's about right versus wrong. It's about good versus evil. It's about liberal socialism versus MAGA communism. And I love our working people. I think they're doing a great job. I think they should have the means of production. You have the other guy in charge. He's not going to give you the means of production. And like, I had a good RFK bit in the chamber too, but I was just like, the vocal cords, they don't have it in them today.
Yeah, it happens. I hear you.
Okay. Well, I'll free up the lines. Take care, Matt. Glad you had a
great
good
night,
vacation.
Ren. Great call, by the way. Great call. All right, I'll take a lot of people calling tonight. One of my headphones just died. I'll take one more call. Oh, well, everyone just hung up at the same time. Oh, I hit it. I'm over 2 hours now. All right, we'll do this last call here. Whoa, what's going on? Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Charlie from Washington. How are you, bud?
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Can I put your feed up on there? Your video up on the feed?
Yeah, please do.
Cool. Let's do it. How you doing? What's it to talk about?
Well, I want to close the windows. Loud out there. So for a while, I was going to call in about the Supreme Court's Title IX decisions. There were 3 parts of it pertaining to trans people that were challenged in certain states, and they made it all the way up to the Supreme Court. And while all 9 of them said that the 3 parts of it that were challenged, like, they had a right to challenge and like go through legally or whatever exactly. 5 of the conservatives said that they're inextricably linked to the entirety of all of Joe Biden's rule changes on Title IX. So if ever you need proof that like all of our fights are the same, even the conservatives recognize it, and they're fighting like it's the same thing. But I completely got sidetracked by, see, I didn't watch all 4 days of the DNC speech because I know that stuff's not for me. I know that it's not directed at me. I know I'm never going to get anything good out of it, but holy damn, the last 2 days, the fucking, like, here's the thing. They talk about, they show some commercials. They're talking about Walls, talking about feeding kids. Kids don't deserve to be hungry. She's talking about, like, she got into being a prosecutor over wanting to help people being sexually assaulted and stuff. She has a very touching story about somebody she knew was getting molested by her stepfather, and they took her in, and she became a prosecutor to fight for rights of those. And they're talking about wanting to stop school shootings and shit, and all of that's great, except it's massively undercut by, you can't talk about school shootings without also, while you're sending bombs over there to bomb schools, you can't talk about feeding kids while
well, you can.
They're over
but...
there doing they're over there starving people to death, kids to death, right? You can't talk about wanting rape victims, and you especially can't talk about like systemic rape from Hamas if you're going to completely ignore the fact that the Israeli government, is up there saying they should have the right to fucking rape Palestinian prisoners. Even everything they claim Hamas has done, even the human shields, we have video evidence of them doing. We have them bragging about doing it. And it's just, sorry, I'm very mad. I've been mad all fucking week. Ugh. So fucking awful. And it really undercuts the unity message, the joy message. If you can't even be bothered to give those people outside wailing, begging for 2 minutes to grovel for mercy for their people. So it kind of sucked it all out of me, honestly.
No, I
know it wasn't for me. I know, and I'm sure some people in chat are going to be like, "Oh, what did you expect?" or "Told you so." And I know. I just was hoping for once.
I think they should have just said no. They should have just said no off the bat, not given the idea that, wow, we're actually gonna consider it. And people were saying it looked likely.
They shouldn't have jerked him around. Yeah. They shouldn't have fucking jerked him around.
Said no off the bat. And
you could have just come out right there and been honest and say, no, we don't give a shit about you people. Fuck off. I mean, so I've seen some of the stuff from the uncommitted delegates that were there, from the people who were trying to get a speaker spot. And there are things that they're excited about. And I voted uncommitted. I gave them my vote because, like, I'm committed to their movement. I'm committed to their fight. As I said, it's all the same fucking fight. We grew up in the 90s watching people use gay as an insult. Now I'm watching people use Palestinian on an insult on the TV. It's not that far removed. One human being to another, watching other people get dehumanized. It's fucking absurd. But
yeah,
I will say, and actually real quick, I have been intermittently posting a link in chat for her speech that she was going to give. There's a news article that talks about that talked about it a little bit. I'm trying to get the speaker, and she read off as part of that segment what she was going to say on there. And if the DNC can't give them a platform, I can at least give them something here in the chat. So everybody in chat, go check that out. If you have to argue with centrists, if you happen to argue with vote blue no matter who people, if you happen to vote with people who are telling you want Trump to win, send them that. Force. I mean,
the fact that
why it would have been a problem to have them on stage saying that shit.
The fact that the thing that bothers me the most is the idea that like they aren't like they're anti-democrat, so why should they be allowed to speak? And it's like They're literally begging you guys to like. They're coming to you because they know that you're supposedly the only help that they'll ever get. Like that's why they're not going to Republicans.
There's a few of them in some of these interviews. They say, "Look, we're going to the Democrats because we know that they're the only ones who have ever done anything for us."
Like
At
that's
all.
so
And they
ridiculous
couldn't
to
even be
like.
bothered. They
The
were more
idea that
willing.
why aren't you protesting the Republicans? Well, there's numerous reasons. One, the Republicans actually aren't the ones in charge right now giving weapons to Israel, and number two, they know the Republicans aren't going to respond to them. They know the Democrats sometimes do.
Yeah. What kills me though, they were more willing to have Republicans speak. They had fucking Bill Clinton. Oh my God.
Well, but the Bill Clinton one is expected. I'm not gonna. It's not the Bill Clinton one that was just ridiculous. It was the straight up actual registered Republicans who were up there speaking.
I'm just saying, like the registered Republicans, they could have cut him. Bill Clinton, they could have. You know, if you are a Republican, if you are an ever Trumper Republican, and you somehow think that this Republican Party isn't the same party it's been for decades, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Go vote for Donald fucking Trump because he is the mirror to everything your fucking ideology has been.
Yeah.
I am so like rats deserting a fucking sinking ship that they sank, and now they're fucking. And the Democrats aren't even my fucking party. Oh my fucking God. She looked. Harris looked fucking psychotic when she talked about the border and when she talked about we have the most deadly, expensive, and lethal army in any empire in likely in human history, and we've done so much fucking evil with it. You don't need to promise to make it lethal. It is lethal. Like nobody questions that. It's actually kind of why people fucking hate us, righteously so. But seriously though, the fucking bipartisan border deal, you're gonna bring that back and sign that into law? Fucking psychotic. You know, fool on me for thinking that maybe I could be wrong and that maybe actually we could get something good for a change. Fucking hell.
Yeah. No,
sorry, I didn't call in and yell at you.
No, you're on point. What could I say other than exactly ditto?
The only reason I watched day 4 of it at all is because they were covering it on Leftist Mafia, and I show up to mod. I don't want to skip on that. Like, I asked for a wrench, I'm going to use it, and I had so. Cataboo came on there. I think you mentioned her earlier.
Yeah,
and she was talking like she got to talk to Ro Khanna. Apparently, she had a very good conversation with him, and apparently during that course of that conversation, she says even Ro Khanna thinks that she needs to break with Biden on Israel. So go back and watch that portion of Leftist Mafia if you haven't. But
I will have to. I mean, I would love to talk with her. I've been meaning to talk with her for a while, and it just never happened. And then, of course,
and her on. That'd be a great guest. I would love that.
And then, of course, they have her on Leftist Mafia when I'm not there.
I still wanted to give her a hug. You could just see,
I can't,
oh my God.
It's
She was out there with the rest of the uncommitted delegates, protesting. Righteous,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna copy paste this in here again. That is the news article talking about it. Sorry, I'm a little tipsy. But share that. Force them to watch the speech that they want to ignore. Force them to see not even really all that firebrandy. Very unity. Would have fit very well. Like, you couldn't even get that, guy. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah. But yeah, also do look into the Title IX stuff. It's kind of messed up. But yeah, free Palestine, man. Fuck the DNC.
Yeah.
Oh. One thing I'll do just as kind of a silly thing. When Cataboo came on, because the speech was boring. I think she came on during Bill Clinton's rambling. Like, she was asking everybody what their kind of favorite potato dishes are. So, what's your favorite potato dish?
I don't like potatoes.
You don't like potatoes? That's okay.
French fries, I guess.
French fries are a potato. That counted.
Mashed potatoes with like gravy, like the classic. That's good too.
Oh, I love mashed potatoes with just like an ocean of gravy, and you can just get that little bowl. See, I'm not huge into potatoes myself either, but lately I've gotten better potatoes. Like the little red ones are really good to cook with. The yellow ones are pretty. They always look like they just pulled them out of the ground. Those ones, they got the flavor. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No, I can hear you. Oh, were you? Yeah, just over here rambling about potatoes. I'm more of a rice girl myself, but yeah, So anyway, yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. Just offended somebody, and I hope you had a good vacation. Not everybody gets to go do that, and I imagine it was pretty fun to take the kids down to a place like that, right? Yeah, that's yeah, that's the point of I don't really get to go like the Disneyland, but I'm gonna try and rope my brother and his two eldest kids because he's got 4 boys, but the 2 eldest like the game with Uncle Charlie and their dad. So I'm gonna try and rope them in over the weekend before school starts in earnest because I get Labor Day off. I finally remember this is the one year I remember. Oh yeah, Labor Day's coming up, and I actually get it off because food workers don't get Labor Day off. If you get Labor Day off, don't go to a restaurant. Don't hassle those people. They don't get time off. Do as little as you can to not like. Just remember, some people don't. Some workers don't. Some workers don't get what they deserve. So, but yeah, I think I'll let you go, bud.
Hold on. I was muted because my mic changed, so you were able to hear me through the headphones.
I was able to hear you just fine. I don't know. Did you hear me?
Did everyone hear the mashed potato conversation?
I could hear you. Oh, maybe you cut out all the calls. Oh, that's sad.
Oh well. That's probably the best way to end the night, perhaps.
Maybe.
I don't know why it switched. Well, I guess when the headphone died, it just switched. Whoops.
No, I actually recently had to. I got some Skull Candy ones that are pretty okay, but I recently had to change mine out because they wouldn't charge. They just stopped charging. I had them for like 2 years, and planned obsolescence is a bitch.
I'm trying to think what I said. People are trying to figure out what I said. What did I say after my headphones dropped? Did everyone hear that mashed potatoes with gravy and French fries my favorite potato dishes?
Yeah, it was fucking,
Well, you heard the whole conversation because you were the only one who was able to hear. Because you were still hearing through the mic and everyone else couldn't hear.
Don't worry, Chad. It was a lot of angry rending at the DNC and then potato talk.
No, people heard you. People just were hearing you, not me.
Oh.
So it was your show for a short period of time.
Oh well, this has been Potatoes with Charlie from Washington.
There you go. I don't think I said anything else.
Potato bread. I don't think it's real potatoes, but
I think I just said how my headphones died.
Oh, actually, one last funny thing. I don't know if you've seen it. It's nightmare fuel. Have you seen the talking Trump bass?
No.
It's like one of those animatronic fish heads. It does Donald Trump's voice. It has horrifying lips. They put a wig on it. It has 2 fins that flop around like he's doing the hand gestures thing. And who the hell would buy this shit? Between that, the NFTs, the Bitcoin, the gold-plated shoes, the Bibles with his face on it. Jesus Christ,
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Only if you want some nightmare fuel. I mean, we are coming up on October in a month, so But yeah, you have a good night, bud.
Have a good night. Thanks for the call, as always. All right, folks. Let's see. All right, let's call it a night. I'm exhausted, obviously. I didn't even notice that the mic went on mute. I'll read some super chats. We are 3 followers away from 6,000 on Twitch. Maybe we could hit that before the end of the show. Just 3 followers. If you haven't already followed me, I'm not asking for subscribers, paid, just people who click that follow button over on Twitch. Just 3 away from 6,000. I know there's a few more people who are trying to call in. I'm sorry. I'll take your calls first thing next time, I promise. Let's see. Over on Twitch. Tokyo Hans resubscribed for 4 months at Tier 1. Subscriber for 26 months. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Welcome back, Matt. I hope you enjoyed some churros. No, didn't eat any churros over there. I did enjoy the Dole Whip, my favorite treat. The pineapple soft serve ice cream float in pineapple juice. It has always been my favorite thing. I just had one or two. I don't remember, but I that's my favorite thing. Thanks again, Mike, for the raid. And Valanova cheered 500 bits. Buy a Trumpy Trout and put it behind you for Leftist Mafia. I could do that. Looney Tunes 9000 resubscribed for 2 months at Tier 1. Subscriber for 8 months. Thank you, Looney Tunes. And I just hit 6,000 followers on Twitch. Thank you so much, everyone. 6,000 followers on Twitch. Now for the next 1,000 till 7,000. Over on YouTube. Tokyo Hans gifted 5 memberships over on YouTube. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. And Tokyo Hans with a super chat. When Hansi comes on, I sometimes come to think that I am the Bizarro Hans. Yeah, well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Because speaking of Leftist Mafia, I got to be on Leftist Mafia as the clock struck 12, and it became my birthday on Thursday night into Friday. My birthday was August 23rd. I am now an old man. I am 38 years old, if you can believe it. But that was fun. That was cool. Fun may be too strong of a word. But that was a good time. Being on there with all you guys who were watching Leftist Mafia as it became my birthday. Tokyo Hans with another super chat. We need a doomed fan wrestling match with Matt and Hansi as announcers. And there goes Kowalski performing his signature corn shucker on Spacco. Uh-oh, here comes Dave from Jamaica from the corner with a steel chair. That would be fun. Daniel R with a super chat. Candace Owens voice, where my stable lefty at? Daniel has sent that as a super chat every time, every week for like the past, I don't even know how many months. Omega Shenron Dragon with a super chat. So the lesson is to password share Disney Plus and ask a friend or relative who will never go to buy a ticket for you to sue. That's perfect. Kowalski with a super chat. Welcome back, Matt. The lack of your presence was felt by tens of thousands, but we all need to disconnect and recharge. Tens of thousands, a bit strong, but yes. Kowalski says, mute the mic, take my call. I'll take it from here. Carrie Shaw with a $20 super chat. Welcome back. Thank you so much, Carrie. That was too kind. And who gave the other big one? Was it Tokyo Hans with 2,000 yen? How much is 2,000 yen? That's pretty. It's like $15, right? $13, $14. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Kowalski with the total of like, what was it, 7 or something from his multiple super chats. Django Fett with a super chat, just a super sticker. I appreciate it, Django. Speaking of Django, not the Django that's spelt the way you spelt Django, but it's a reference to Jango Fett. Spent some time in Galaxy's Edge. That was fun. My kids were all my daughter was tall enough to finally go on the Star Wars rides. We went a couple of years ago, and she was too short. She was still a little baby. And she wanted to go on, and she was disappointed. This time, she was tall enough. Let's see. Who should I rate on Twitch? Oh, and I'll be on Majority Report tomorrow. I'll be on Leftist Mafia tomorrow. To support this show, youtube.com/MattBinder, twitch.tv/MattBinder. You could drop a super chat, become a subscriber, become a member. And then, of course, patreon.com/MattBinder. Oh, we got a Patreon. Hold on. Patchy Rick, thank you so much for becoming a patron. I really appreciate that. I totally forgot to mention the Patreon, and someone still became a member. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. The Patreon support really is important. I don't do enough to do that sometimes, but like I said, I needed this vacation. I'm coming back. I'm planning to finally really get back into the swing of things, and all that stuff will be in the works. I mentioned this last time, I think. My podcast host that I have with Scam Economy hosted with is shutting down. And I had to fucking go through the whole deal of transferring it. And then this stupid host that's shutting down, I never realized because I never needed to. They had no way to export the podcast analytics. Like, you could transfer the podcast, the content, the episodes. That was no problem. I went with a new host. They were able to bring my episodes in. Little to no change for most people, I think. I don't know if no one complains. So I don't know if I waited before publishing any new episodes to make sure this went without a hitch. But there was no way to export my analytics. So I had to fucking go through it one by one and manually export the analytics. I didn't even get all the information. I just grabbed the download numbers for each day and month and stuff like that. Because it would have been too much to then go and grab where the location was from, where this was from. It was just a hassle, pain in the ass. So that stuff's all done for now. Tokyo Hans, another super chat. Welcome back, Matt. Tired of giving my money to Canadians. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. All right, who am I rating on Twitch? Let's see what people said. We got Adrian Vixen, Pinko the Bear, Neko Suries, Riverboat Jack. All right, let's do let's raid who's on. Let me see. Let me click the raid button. Who do I see? Adrian Vixen's on. I don't see Riverboat Jack. Riverboat Jack might have just dropped off. So I'll raid Adrian Vixen. All right, folks. See you on Majority Report. See you on Leftist Mafia all tomorrow, and it's great to be back.